Well, hello there, two-stroke turbo fans. Thank you for clicking on my video, checking out my channel. Stella is annoying, or thinks that we are annoying her. She's looking up into the tree up there, seeing if there's any squirrels. We're at home this evening. It's after work. Want to work on a special project. All my girls are out for the evening doing their girly things, shopping and nail polishing and pedicures, manicures, all that stuff, all the things girls do. Stella, would you like a pedicure? Would you like a manicure? You silly goof. Stella's my buddy. When she yawns like that, she's very happy. We're going to go into our home garage here. Why don't you guys follow along? We got a project we're working on. Excuse the mess. We're going to step over the treadmill. We're going to step over the scooter, Subaru 360, another Subaru 360, a DKW in the back, a Vespa in the corner, and a Sandbar van here. Front and center we have our Messerschmitt KR200. This is a 1962 end of the line, one of the last years for these cars. And you can see I've got my rear end jacked up. I've got jack under there. This car weighs 505 pounds. It's really nothing for a floor jack. There's been something going on with this car that's been really bothering me. And I kind of don't know how to fix it, but I'm going to try a few things. You can see I've got the brake drum on the ground there. So the last couple times that I've had this car out, I drove it really hard. Probably exceeded its expectations. The brake drums on these things are roughly 6 inches. That's the palm of my hand. And there's our brake drum. I just had them machined because they were completely glazed over and they were scored. And it might be my own undoing. I tried to make these brake drums look as good as possible, so they've got a thick coating of SPI epoxy primer plus paint. This is somewhat of a show car, and the black paint actually may be inhibiting heat transfer. These are steel drums. They're tiny, but when you have a 505-pound car going 60 miles an hour with 2 people on board, namely me, 180 pounds, and my passenger who is like 220, 350 pounds, let's say, of cargo, and trying to stop on an 8% grade, and I couldn't do it. I blew through a stop sign. The brakes just wouldn't hold. I think I might have changed the friction quality of the brakes. I don't know that, but they're just little tiny shoes. And I'm going to take some emery cloth. I've got a roll here, and I've got a box to capture all the asbestos dust. I'm going to put a mask on. I'm going to sand my shoes a little bit. I might even scuff up my drums. I'm hoping that I can reuse these shoes. I hope that the heat didn't change their actual composition, their chemistry. They're bonded shoes and they're in good shape, but they can only take so much heat, and I really overheated them. So I'm going to start here in the rear, and then I'll work up to the front. I've got the front drums as well. I think I showed you. Use the front drums. That's the rear drum. There's a difference, and I don't know what the difference is, but I'm not going to mix them up. I had these machined, so the last time I drove the car, they felt like warped rotors. They were out around. I must have just had them glowing hot, and I'm hoping that I can resolve this issue. So we're going to get our mask on, maybe a vacuum, see if we can deglaze our brake shoes. Let's get working. Hope you can hear me. I've got a mask on. I've got my what are these? Work gloves, some 80 grit emery cloth, some knee pads, and I'm going to go to town trying to scuff these up. I'm just going to wrap the emery cloth around the shoes like that and give her the old back and forth. Basically, like use 2 hands and go back and forth, see if I can rough up the shoes, excuse me, and I may do a little bit to the drums too. They came out really nice. They got them clean and round again, but I think I want to have a little bit more grit to the surface. They're still pretty smooth. Okay, I'm going to get you guys in tight. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to get you guys in tight here, show you what I'm up to. Not a lot of dust coming off. The shoes are completely dry. Trying to keep my box underneath any debris falling in there rather than dirtying my space. Come on. Okay, you can see what I'm doing there. I'm going to continue doing that. Hopefully I'm not creating too much dust. And see if we can get this thing. This is a last ditch effort. Otherwise I got to buy new shoes. Okay, it's a while longer. I feel pretty good about that. I'm going to put my brake shoe back on. And we've got a set screw to put in there. Get that started. Tight. Spins good. Now you have to deflate the tire. Get it up in there. Otherwise it won't go. Scratch it all. Come on, get in there. There we go. I got to screw in my, what's it called? Little Schrader valve. It's called a Schrader valve. In there, and I can pump it up with the bike pump. There we go. Rear brake done. Okay, super fans, two-stroke super fans. We moved to the front of our Messerschmitt, and we're gonna do a little test here. We got our wheel off and lay into the side there. We're gonna clean that up in a second. You can look here, I got the light shining on our brake shoes. Same type of thing. I've got the 80 grit emery cloth. And I did a little test sample here. I got my mask on so I'm not inhaling any asbestos. And I'm just sanding ever so slightly, trying to break the glaze, and I think it's working. Just don't know how long it's going to last. You can tell that's very glazed and shiny there. I keep doing this. Should put some gloves on. Really should put some gloves on. And hopefully I can revive these shoes. Make them have some coefficient of friction again. I think I just glazed the heck out of them. So I'm going to do this for a while. Not really worth videoing, but you can see I've got most of the glaze off there. I'm very happy with that. I'm going to bring the drums over here in a while and I'll show you how that goes back together. Okay, so we cleaned up our wheel, our tire, our brake drum, and our shoes. See, we did get a little bit of dust in there, not too much. And I did spray a little cleaner, some bleach on the shoes just to see if I can get them extra clean. Now I'm going to put it back together. Little tiny baby drum. There we go. I don't have the set screws for these. I don't have to pump these up. See if I can put that on. With one hand, I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Luggies on. So let me give you fellers a tip. If you're working on your Messerschmitt and you're deglazing the brake drums and you notice that the lug studs stick out much further than normal after you got everything cleaned up, you may want to check to see if you forgot to put the drum on like I did. Oh man. All lugs are torqued and everything. Silly me. Okay, we're still messing around with our Messerschmitt brakes. If you're not aware how Messerschmitt brakes work, they're cable operated. So our brake pedal is right here in the center, and this is our e-brake handle here. If you look at how this system works, when you pull the e-brake, it clicks back, it is mechanically linked to the pedal. If you watch this, see how the pedal goes down? You're effectively locking all three brakes. There's a cable trunnion that pulls all three. I was having issues with this brake trying to adjust so both front brakes work at the same time, and you have to mechanically go underneath the car. Well, there's two ways to adjust. One, you can do it while you're driving. You can just adjust the cable, which is right here. You can see it better on this side. Right there. You can, it's like a bicycle. You can tension the cable and get more pull on the brakes. Same thing in the back. Also, you can go under the car and you can adjust the lever. Let's show you how this works. So the cable comes from inside the car and it pulls up on this big C hook here. And if you look closely, I've marked a white mark on both the adjuster cam that goes inside the wheel to pull on the brakes and also the lever. And I moved it 3 clicks because I had so much more play on this side. So when you pull on this, you move an eccentric cam and it wedges the brake shoes. So I now have both front brakes working equally as they should. And I'm going to check the rear. This lever here, you can also see, I must have adjusted that last time. The white marks don't line up. The white marks were originally when I put the brake shoes on, but they've worn a little bit, and now I've adjusted this entire C-clip to give the brakes more pull. Very important to have good brakes on your Messerschmitt. We're going to check the rear brakes on our Messerschmitt. We're going to lift the dome. We're going to lift the engine cover. I've got the rear off the ground, and this is our brake adjustment for the rear. You can see I've got it way far extended. That's the most it ever has been. I think my front brakes are overheating because the rear one is not functioning as it should. So I do have plenty of play there. You can hear the drums dragging a little bit. I'm going to pull the emergency brake and see if that locks up. I hope it does. So I'm going to pull the emergency brake, 4 clicks, and then just spin this. It's got a little bit of drag on it, but that means this brake is not adjusting. So I've got to figure out why. Front brakes are locked right now. So to have equal brakes, I might have to put a spacer in here or something to get more pull. Okay, got to think about that. So yes, with e-brake on, I'm still able to spin this a little bit. That means that I'm missing 1/3 of my braking power, and probably why my front brakes are overheating. I gotta figure that out. Maybe there's a way I can adjust it inside. I don't know. This is gonna take some thinking. Either gotta make a spacer to pull that tighter when that cable pulls, or something. I'm gonna have to think about that. So, still thinking about this. I think what I'm gonna do is drive the car to my big shop and machine a spacer or something to get this not so stretched out. Maybe a washer or a bushing or something there. Not sure yet, but I need to get the rear brake engaged. It's always something. Or maybe there's an adjustment inside, but I think I'm going to finish this video up now, drive it, see how it feels. Maybe it works fine. Maybe the rear brake is not supposed to have as much going to it, so it doesn't lock up. Maybe that's designed into the whole essence of the thing. I'm not sure, but I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. Hope you enjoyed looking, admiring, going along with me on the journey to figure out why my brakes on my Messerschmitt KR200 are not working the way they should, and get to the bottom of it.